Real Madrid against Chelsea. Of course, it'll be at Stamford Bridge. This is, I mean, if you think that first game's a tactical battle, this one, I loved watching it. I looked at Real Madrid in that first leg and I thought, they're tired. Like they're running on fumes, this team. I felt like it felt a little bit disjointed at times. And I think what was interesting, we both said we thought Kai Havertz would start that game because of how they'd been playing the last few weeks. I felt like it was all geared towards that. Tuchel does what Tuchel does, which is just give us a curveball and didn't play him, played Pulisic. And it was a great decision, wasn't it?
It was, and Timo Werner alongside him as well. I think it was just that directness, that energy. Pulisic got the first goal. Timo Werner really should have scored as well. I think he knows that he gets that frontline work rate. He gets that in behind running. It's always going to cause teams, especially defenders, to think twice about where they are on the pitch because there's always that risk with the pace in behind. Yeah. So it was a really good decision from him. I think the midfield battle was pivotal. N'Golo Kanté was fantastic with a man of the match performance, once again reminding us all, oh yeah, he is that good. Anyone that was doubting him, I think you were wrong about that. Interestingly, neither Luka Modric nor Toni Kroos played at the weekend. They were both on the bench. Neither was brought on. Now, when they were looking quite leggy, particularly in that midfield area last week, you're wondering, is this the end? They well into their 30s now, these few players. Do they still have it at the top level? And Zinedine Zidane managed to win the game in La Liga at the weekend, leaving them both out. That's going to be huge, I think. A little bit of a rest. Time to go into this match now, needing a really energetic performance. Both of them, I think, can deliver. They've got big names back in their defence as well. Massive for them as well, because that allows that security in midfield, knowing what's behind you, knowing it isn't a makeshift defence. I think that could be crucial. I still think there's a sting in the tail from Real Madrid. And I also think Eden Hazard back at Stamford Bridge. What do you think? Is he going to be the difference?
I think, yeah, I mean, you make some great points there about Kanté and how that was interesting, actually, when you think about it. I guess you've got that front three that are ready to work so hard, in particular Pulisic and Werner up top there. And although you stretch it, you then create a bit more space for Pulisic and Mount. But actually, in terms of filling all that space, Kanté, and I was doing some analysis on the game, and you look at his heat map, most of these players, like Jorginho, for example, sits, digs a hole, does not move from that spot. Yeah. There's little spots all over the place with Kanté. He's made for this tie. The thing I wonder, and I'm with you, is that because we've forgotten that this was 1-1. This finished 1-1. I think we all kind of felt like Chelsea won the game, dominated the game. But Hazard coming into this game, I think creates a kind of another layer that if you can get the ball to Kroos, he's got someone to play to a bit quicker, and Kanté and the rest of the midfield won't be able to kind of close them down as much. I felt like they were really missing him in this game, and you saw it maybe in the last sort of 20 minutes or so. From the start, I've gone with Chelsea with this, but I always knew it was going to be really, really tight. The closer I get to the game, I just feel like the fact that Hazard's been able to get some minutes, for him to be there, I think that's a link that's going to help all of those other players in this team. And Benzema, his 71st goal in the Champions League in that first semi-final, he is that clutch striker that at the end of the day, you look at Timo Werner in his season this year, his expected goals this season in the league, 11, he scored 9. In the Champions League, it's 5, but he's only scored 3. He doesn't take his chances. We saw it again at the weekend. And I think it might come down to those two strikers. It might come down to Werner against Benzema. And for me, there's only one winner out of those two, which makes you wonder if Real Madrid might do this.
I think they could. They could definitely do this. I think that experience is going to be a big difference. Of course, most of the players in that Real Madrid squad have won at least one Champions League title already. But of course, the main stem of that team, vastly experienced. And I think although of course there's experience in the Chelsea team as well, not to the same extent.
Do you think Tuchel will do a curveball? Do you think there'll be another curveball?
No, I don't.
I think he plays Werner, he plays Pulisic, he plays Mount.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, look, he would have gone into that first match saying, who are the people I trust? What's my best team? We can't take any risks here. So he's played his hand already. Zinedine Zidane will know there won't be massive changes, barring injury, of course, to that team. But I think Real Madrid go into this knowing that, again, it's a bit like what I said about Manchester City. Once they hit their groove in a game like this, they are very, very difficult to stop. Modric and Kroos could monopolise the ball. I know Chelsea very good with possession. We spoke about that last week. But I just think with that rest, they go into that game and it's like, let's tick the ball back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I also think Benzema doesn't need as many chances to score. If he gets a good one, it's going in the back of the net. And that will be the difference. Going into the second half of the second leg, I think that's where the experience will really count. Some of the younger players in Chelsea's team, or the players that haven't played at this level, the Timo Werners, Christian Pulisic, never been at this level before. You've got Reece James or Ben Chilwell, for example. Christensen, real doubts. Mendy in goal, who mentally will be thinking, if they are shocked, if they're 1-0 down with 20 minutes to play, oh no, we're going out. This is it. Instead of the feeling that if it was the other way around, Real Madrid will be thinking, we've got late goals. We've got late goals that have won us. Yeah, if we got a goal in the last minute against Atletico Madrid that took a final to extra time, they will feel more comfortable with the latter stages of the second leg. And that's why I just back them to go through. I really do. I think there's going to be an edge on this one, but it's so hard to see past Real Madrid for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's so tight, this one. And I think Tuchel has got it right time and again with his lineups. I know what you mean. I've gone with Chelsea from the start with this one, but I'm with you, Hugh. I kind of just feel like there's just a bit too much gloss, a little too much experience there with those guys. And I guess it's one of those where you've got this sort of up and coming fighter who's got the speed, but has he got the guile? I think
what
I'm really
struggling. The main thing is for me, how does a team who during the season just weren't a great side suddenly become the best side in Europe when they get this new manager, Thomas Tuchel? There's a part of me that thinks it's just been too easy. It can't be this easy for Chelsea. The law of averages, everything that we've seen in football over the years says something's got to give. And I think this might be the night.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.